Hey folks, what's up? This is Vivs from Slide Nerd. In this video, I'm gonna jump into Eclipse, get my hands dirty, but before that, I wanna show you guys what I'm gonna do exactly in this video. So what I have the edit text, the button, the horizontal linear layout. There's this block which contains sine, cos, tan, right? And this block which contains the other buttons, in, log, root, stuff. And then you have this block which has all your other buttons, which is 7, 8, 9 and stuff, right? Now these three blocks are horizontally one near each other, so that means they're inside this horizontal linear layout, right? The pink one is vertical, remember that. We'll get to that discussion later, why the pink one is vertical, but for now you guys need to remember this. And then ultimately you have this red block inside which all the other two blocks are contained. The other two blocks means the green block and this brown block, they are one below each other, so that means the red has to be vertical in nature. In this bit we are going to only make this structure inside our Eclipse, so let's get our hands dirty and get this plane up. So here in Eclipse I have nothing great. There is just this slide cal project over here, and here if you see there is nothing inside the user interface. So let me actually minimize this part over here. If I go to the XML file, there is just this linear layout which says width of match parent and height of match parent. From this white screen that you see over here, I'm gonna actually build this complete calculator. So you guys excited to see this? Let me know. So first step, what we are gonna do is gonna go ahead. We are right now having this linear layout. Now which linear layout is this? This is actually this big red colored rectangle that you guys see over here on the diagram, right? So what we need to do is it has a vertical orientation. If you guys remember, this green box and this other blue box are one below each other. That means this is vertical in nature. So let's give it an orientation of vertical first. Alright, so now let's give this a background color of red just to know that where it is on the screen. I'm gonna say Android background RGB. So that is done. If you go to the graphical layout now, the complete screen is blood red. Okay, that looks bad. I know that, but don't worry, we'll build the blocks right. Next, what we have is we have this green colored linear layout which is horizontal in nature. It is inside the red colored box and it has this edit text and this button. So let's go and make that. First I'm gonna give this an ID, call this red box. Well, actually there is another red box here somewhere inside our diagram, so I'm gonna call this red box 1 just to know that this is our big one. So I'll call this main red box. That should be the best name, right? Main red box, that so that we know this which box we're talking about. It's the main big red box, right? So here I'm gonna go ahead and make another linear layout over here. I'm gonna simply call drag in the graphical layout. It's in the layout section over here. If I say linear layout, it should be horizontal, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, drag this inside. Let's go and see the code here. Okay, there's the match parent width and height of wrap content. That's exactly what we need, right? And then I'm gonna give this an ID. I'll call this big green box, right? This is our big green box inside which we have our edit text and our button. So let's go and put those controls here by going to the graphical layout. I'm gonna take edit text here in the text fields, and then I'm gonna have my button over here, right? So now Eclipse again screwed up. We'll have to drag the button manually and put it inside this linear layout right below the edit text. I'm gonna remove this request focus statement over here. Control Shift F to format stuff. Okay, the ID, we don't need an ID right now. We're gonna remove the IDs over here. We don't need the IDs for buttons. It's gonna increase the number of lines. For the Android text, actually this is using a image over here. If you see, I don't have this image, so I'm gonna simply say X over here just to clear stuff. EMS, we don't need that. I'm gonna remove the EMS attribute. So let's go and see how this looks in the graphical layout. Okay, there's our edit text completely, and there's our button. Alright, that's good. Wrap content for the layout width and height, right? Now we need to give this linear layout, that is our big green box, a color, right? So I'm gonna give this a green color just like you guys expected. Background over here, RGB, right? So it's S0 F0, I believe. Go to the graphical layout. Okay, there you go. That's looking good. In fact, that looks shitty, I know that, but well, for now it looks good. So now let's go ahead and make the other block, which is this blue colored big rectangle that you see on the diagram on the right side. Right now this blue is actually a horizontal linear layout. As you guys can see, this orange block, and this black box are one near each other. That makes this blue one horizontal in nature. So let's go and make that over here. I'm gonna simply go to the graphical layout. I'm gonna drag another linear layout here, compose it. It's in the layout section over here. Linear layout, it's horizontal in nature. I'm gonna drag that. So here again we have the width of match parent and height of wrap content. We call this the blue box. In fact, we should call it the big blue box. So I'll call it ID and/or ID at the rate, and I'll give this a background color of blue just so you guys can see that. Background is #00F, I believe. Yep. Well, actually you're seeing it. Good. So this and this, they are one below each other, right? And now they need to take all the remaining screen space. Now if you guys remember the presentation, let me go to the presentation for a second and show you the relative widths of them. Alright, so the green box, that is our big green box, takes 3 for the proportion in terms of height, and this takes 7. That is the brown or the green box or blue box or whatever you call it, the big box takes 7. Alright, so let's go and do that in Eclipse. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna give this green one a layout width of 3, sorry, a layout weight of 3, and this blue one a layout weight of 7. So that's gonna make things look proportional. So let's go and do that. For this one, I'm gonna say layout weight as 3. That is our green box, and the big blue box shall have a layout weight of 7. Now remember something, this blue box, that is our big blue box, and our big green box, they are one below each other inside a vertical linear layout, right? So when you're giving layout weight, you're talking about the layout weight in terms of vertical dimensions, alright? So that means the height should be redundant, and so we are gonna give this a height of 0 dp for each. Now if you guys have seen my previous videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but otherwise you can go ahead, you should go and check my previous videos out. I've explained this in detail. Here's a simple rule just for you guys to remember. In a horizontal linear layout, inside it, when you have elements like button, text view all, and you give a layout weight, the width calculation is redundant, so give 0 dp. Inside a vertical linear layout, when you have children, that is text view, edit text and stuff, and you give a layout weight, give the Android height as 0 dp, because the height calculation becomes redundant. So now you guys have understood what I'm trying to say over here. So let's go and see how this looks in the graphical layout. Okay, that's great. 1, 2 blocks are made, right? So upcoming in the further video, I'm gonna go ahead, take this orange block, take the black box, and gonna construct the remaining structure. So I hope you guys have understood something out of this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next vid. Have a nice day.